Before Richard Linklater brought us last year's acclaimed hit Boyhood, he famously explored the 70s in his 1993 cult classic Dazed and Confused. Now he's focused his lens on the 80s in his latest film Everybody Wants Some.
I like the quiet guy in the backseat.
Oh, there's nothing here. Yeah, I can see how that could get threatening. New guy coming in, getting all the ladies. Let him embrace your inner strength.
Canada and film critic Richard Krebs spoke to the director.
Congratulations on the film.
Oh, thank you.
People love Dazed and Confused.
George Washington, man, he was in a cult. And the cult was into aliens, man. You didn't know that?
No.
So, isn't it best sometimes just to leave things alone, or were you willing to jump in with both feet again and see what happened?
No, I started calling it the spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused because it's set 4 years later. If you know that movie, Mitch's character, the young guy going into high school, he's a pitcher in a pony league game. So if he had kept playing baseball and was good enough and went to college, this is his college. The problem is it's been 20 whatever years, so the character who played him, Wally Wiggins, is like 38 years old.
Okay.
He's like a new guy, but it's, to me, personally, Dazed and Confused was my high school, this is my college. And, you know, college is more fun than high school, too.
This ain't high school, man.
What I liked about this movie is that it really grabs the feel of the time.
Yeah.
I was there for it.
I was there.
Yeah. And so, how do you do that? It's not a traditionally told story, but I was in from the second it started.
Yeah, it's kind of a party. You know, I wanted to capture that first weekend of college before classes start, because that's what I really remember. It's like, oh yeah, the bonding with my new roommates, and in my case, teammates. You know, we were all there on the baseball team. We were in these two houses.
2 rules. No booze in this house. Number 2, no girls upstairs in those bedrooms.
And it's kind of what goes on that first weekend. You know, you're going out to different clubs and you're just getting to know each other, and it's really, I don't know, the film doesn't have a, you know, there isn't a conflict to be resolved, but there sort of is in a very subtle way. It's how to fit in.
We have a little tradition welcoming the new guys. Freshman batting practice! Welcome to the big time, boys.
These guys have great chemistry together. You worked on that before cameras rolled, though, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
Great story to tell action.
I mean, a great ensemble cast. These 13 young actors, they're just wonderful. I love them. But, you know, the film's about these people who are roommates and really know one another, guys who've been on the team. So I have some land not far from Austin, and I had a bunkhouse, and they all lived in it for 2 weeks, just straight. They became roommates, and you really get to know people well when they're snoring beside you.
Yeah, yeah.
In another bunk bed.
And no cell phones?
Well, it's very different now. Just, I think not having your smartphone in front of you all the time, and being forced to socialize. Like if you're in a car, I have a long sequence where they're kind of driving around listening to and participating and singing in Rapper's Delight.
Check it out, I'm the CASN, the OVA, and the rest is FLY. You see, I go by the code of the doctor of the mix, and these reasons I'll tell you why.
I just wanted to show what that felt like. But now, you know, young people, they'd all just have their, you know, phones out.
And they look like they've just stepped out of 1980. Is it just the hair and the mustaches? Or do you cast, was there a look you were looking for?
Really, if you get the right hair, on certain guys, the mustache, it's clothes, you just create that atmosphere. That's the fun thing about a movie like this, recreating that moment in time from, in this case, you know, 30 whatever years ago. It was fun.
You bring who you are, never who they want. And that, my friend, is when it gets fun.